Okay, this is video 13 in total, but it's number 6 of the 2-point perspective series. So this is the construction of your interior view of a room. So you kickstart with the left hand side, you draw one of your vanishing points, call it VP1. If I make sure that the other one is horizontal over to the right hand side, so try and keep them quite far apart if you can. If you keep them too narrow, it makes your drawing quite skewed. If you want to, like I said in the last video, you can draw an imaginary faint horizontal line to represent your eye level that links up the two vanishing points. If I then draw, for argument's sake, we talked about the height and the position of this vertical line, but if I was to draw, let's say, a vertical line, I'm using an A4 piece of paper, so I'm just going to draw it roughly in the middle, and I'm going to draw it 4 centimeters in length, so with 2 centimeters above, 2 centimeters below. And then using my VP1, I'm going to find the bottom of that line and I'm going to line it up, but I'm not drawing on the left hand side, I'm just only drawing on the right over this side, on this bit. And the same with VP2, I'm going to line up VP2 with the bottom section. I'm going to draw that line through, like so. And then the same with the top, so take VP1, line it up with the top, something like this, project that line through, and the same with VP2, I'm going to line it up with that top point and project it through. So you have to visualize this now, but this is going to be, these are your two walls, this is going to be the ceiling, and this is going to be the floor. So if I was going to do a bedroom, for instance, I want to draw, let's say, the bed on here. Remember that this line represents your I suppose the corner, but the edge of where the wall meets the floor. So somewhere along this line, I'm going to mark on the width of the bed. So if it's a double bed, it's going to be much wider. If I then use VP2 to project that through, and this determines the length of the bed, something like that. If I then use VP1, which caps off the length of the bed, so anywhere along these two lines you can decide the length of it. So if I mark here, use VP1, if I line it up with VP1, there we go, that marker, and draw in what I need. I then need to make that 3D, so I'm going to go vertical, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. If I decide upon, let's say, the height of the bed here, I'm going to use VP1 to project it that way, to that line. If I then use VP2 to draw up to that point, so I only need to draw in what I need now. And the same with this one, I'm going to line that point up with VP1, and I'm going to line up this point here with VP2 with a bit of luck. They should match up, which they do on the side. And if you wanted a headboard, you can mark the headboard, and if I draw on here and draw in what you want on there. So there's the headboard, the basis of the bed. Let's say on this side, if you wanted to draw a wardrobe, same principle. If I mark on here, this is where the wardrobe's going to go. If I then use VP1 to draw that through, so 1, and same with that one, VP1, draw that through. If I use VP2 to cap them off, so decide upon how far out they go, line it up with VP2, there we go. I'll have to extend VP1 there a little bit, there we go. And then you're going to send it vertically upwards, so you'll see a difference with this one because the wardrobe is generally very tall, bigger than yourself. If you mark the height, which is going above my eye level, you shouldn't see the top of it. So if I use VP2, draw that line in, and if I use VP1, draw that line in, there we go. You can see now with the wardrobe, it's actually in line with the corner there. I cannot see the top of it. Again, if you want to put a, let's say a door, got a vertical, use VP2 to cap off the height of the door, let's say something like that, and then I'm going to draw a vertical down. That gives me my door opening. If let's say you wanted to put a rug, you can mark, let's say, the near point of the rug, and then you can use VP1. You're going to use VP2 over here, and then you go back to VP1, and then you can use VP2 to cap that off on the side. So there's my rug. And then finally, we'll do one more. If I wanted to put, let's say, a bedside table over here, remember, don't go past that vertical line that's next to your vanishing point. So I've got a depth line from VP2 on both of those. If I use VP1 to cap them off, so I've got the base of it, and then if I just project them up, we've got a vertical, vertical, and a vertical, and another vertical. Any one of these you can use if you select it. Let's say I select the back one this time, use VP2 to draw it through, and then use VP1 to line it up with that corner, and then where they cross over, I'm going to use that point to VP2, and I'm going to use this point to VP1. So there's the main parts of the interior.